Legendary manager Earl Weaver once said, "Your momentum is only as strong as your next day's starting pitcher." Good pitching almost always beats good hitting. Yankees fans know that. And for that reason, pitching tends to be the X factor in baseball. The better the pitchers on your roster, the better the chance you have to win, period. A great rotation is nothing without a great bullpen. And even a great bullpen can get overtaxed if you have to use it too much due to a lack of quality starting pitching. For the Yankees, the pitching staff has a wide range of outcomes in 2021. General manager Brian Cashman, in an effort to keep the team under the luxury tax, opted not to sign top free agent pitcher Trevor Bauer or to empty the farm system for young talent like Luis Castillo, but rather to bet big on players returning from injury to back up their ace, Gerrit Cole. So let's start with Gerrit Cole. Gerrit Cole was signed prior to the 2020 season to put the Yankees over the top. And after a dominating run in Houston, Gerrit Cole has put together a very nice beginning to his career in the Bronx. Took the ball 12 times and went 7-3 with a 2.84 ERA. He's one of 3 starting pitchers in Major League Baseball to have a sub-3 ERA in each of the last 3 seasons. And he saved the best start of his season for the playoffs, striking out 13 Indians to help the Yankees defeat Cy Young winner Shane Bieber. Cole will be 30 years old in 2021, and having shown no signs of injury troubles over the past few years, he's expected to be healthy and to take the ball for the Yankees atop the rotation at least 30 times. He's a legitimate Cy Young contender in 2021. Speaking of Cy Youngs, the Yankees' number 2 man in the rotation is expected to be 2-time Cy Young Award winner Corey Kluber. Since winning 20 games in 2018, Kluber's injuries, including a fractured forearm from a comebacker, have held him to just 8 starts and 36 2/3 innings over the past 2 seasons. And at age 35, you'd be justified if you were skeptical that he could start 32 games or pitch 200 innings in 2021. The Yankees, though, are hoping that he can throw maybe 150 or 160 innings, as they rely on some of their other depth pieces that we'll talk about later to give Kluber some rest and keep him healthy for the playoffs. This video was created shortly after Corey Kluber's first spring training outing, in which veteran Yankees beat writer Brian Hoke described his outing as surgical. Kluber signed a 1-year, $11 million deal to join the Yankees in 2021. He's in great shape, thanks in part to his personal trainer Eric Cressey, who also happens to lead the Yankees' strength and conditioning program. He's motivated to earn another contract, and this may be his last chance to win a World Series, so you can bet that he's going to leave it all on the field and give the Yankees everything that he's got, which is really all you can ask of a man. At the number 3 spot in the rotation, I slot in Jordan Montgomery. He may end up as the number 4 man in the rotation, which he was during the 2020 ALDS when he shut down the Rays to help the Yankees win their final game of the season. Montgomery was one of Fangraph's picks to have a breakout year in 2020 as he returned from Tommy John surgery, but despite having decent metrics, his overall numbers were not that impressive. It should be noted, though, that they picked him to break out again in 2021, now that he should have a full 162-game season to work with. Drawing inspiration and advice from Yankees legend Andy Pettitte, Montgomery continues to improve and to learn about pitching at the big league level. He's never going to be that 15 strikeout in a game guy, but he may very well be a 15 win guy, as his command and soft contact percentage should allow him to have efficient innings and pitch deep into games. Montgomery's a guy I expect to have a lot of quality starts, that's 6 innings or better and 3 runs or less. When combined with the Yankees' high-scoring offense, that should translate into better numbers for Montgomery in 2021. He's my pick for like 15 or 16 wins and probably a 3.5 ERA. Very Andy Pettitte-like numbers. Next up in the rotation, or possibly earlier in the rotation, is former number 2 overall draft pick and 2-time Tommy John surgery recipient Jameson Taillon. Taillon came up with the Pirates a year after Gerrit Cole did. He's just 29 years old, and he carries the prototypical pitcher's frame. He's 6'5", 230 pounds. An awkward throwing motion led to 2 aforementioned Tommy John surgeries, but he's rebuilt his mechanics from the ground up, shortening his arm extension, using his legs more, and taking significant stress off of his twice reconstructed elbow. Early results this spring have been encouraging. His fastball is almost at pre-injury velocity. He was 93-94 last time out. He was about 94.7 in his final season with Pittsburgh. and the refined mechanics have made his already terrific control even better, it seems. One plus for Jameson Taillon is that he's always been pretty good at keeping the ball in the ballpark, and that will come in handy at Yankee Stadium. Taillon is my pick for Comeback Player of the Year. The number 5 spot in the rotation is going to be one of the more fun battles to watch in spring training. Let's start with the front runner, in my opinion, Domingo German. Domingo German has gone from being an unbelievably good story during his rookie season, coming from out of nowhere to win 18 games, to one of the more polarizing players on the team due to his very public domestic violence incident, which led to a suspension for the duration of the 2020 season and multiple social media meltdowns. But if you can somehow get this young man into a good place mentally, on and off the field, there's no question about his talent. He showcased a much improved and frankly incredible changeup in his first spring training outing, which will pair nicely with his elite curveball spin and his upper 90s fastball. The only thing that can hold back Domingo German is Domingo German. Root for him or don't, it's your choice. But a positive outcome for Domingo German could mean big things for the Yankees in 2021. Deivi Garcia is the likely number 1 contender for a spot in the rotation should something happen to the previous 5 guys I've mentioned. He turns 22 years old on May 19th, and after an impressive cup of coffee in 2020, he's established himself as having a legitimate future in the rotation. Utilizing late life on his fastball, which is effective despite its below average velocity, along with an absolutely devastating curveball, great command, and extremely advanced poise for someone his age, the 5'9" Garcia completed 6 innings or more in 4 of his 6 appearances, and completed 7 innings twice. That's a lot of numbers. Here's some more. During his first 4 starts in the major leagues, his ERA stood at 3.28, before ballooning to 4.98 over his final 2 starts. This suggests that the league may have made some adjustments to Garcia. This is normal. It's now on Garcia to make his own adjustments so that he can become the pitcher that the Yankees believe he can be. It's also easy to forget about Luis Severino because he won't be joining the team until midsummer at least. But before his injury troubles began in 2019, he was one of the best pitchers in baseball. He finished 3rd in the Cy Young voting in 2017 and 9th in 2018, and he's been basically hurt ever since. If he can regain his form following Tommy John surgery, as many pitchers before him have done, then watch out. Other rotation candidates as the season goes along. Clark Schmidt, a former first-round draft pick whose only experience above Double-A is his 6 1/3 innings with the Yankees last year. He's got great stuff, but he's currently dealing with an elbow strain, his second elbow injury in recent memory. Command issues plagued him in 2021, but the Yankees seem to believe in him. And I think that eventually he'll put it all together and he'll probably benefit from a few months in AAA to start the season. Michael King is another guy who the Yankees like. He'll be just 26 years old in 2021, and he's added a few ticks to his velocity over the winter. He mostly relies on a sinker, but needs to consistently keep it low in the strike zone in order for it to be effective, something he's had issues with. Perhaps he can benefit from being teammates with another Yankees reliever, one known for his sinker, Zack Britton. Britton, who will be 33 years old in 2021, has been nothing short of fantastic during his 3 years with New York, posting a 2.14 ERA over 105 innings pitched. He did not allow a single home run in 2020 and has allowed just 11 over his past 6 years. Aroldis Chapman is the Yankees' closer, and despite serving up some big home runs in the postseason over the past few years, you really can't argue with his regular season success. Aroldis averaged 17 strikeouts per 9 in 2020 and has averaged 14.9 strikeouts per 9 for his career over 563 games. That is insanity. Chad Green is probably the Yankees' next best reliever. He relies on a high spin rate fastball and has an improving breaking ball. He's been pretty reliable over his Yankees career, posting a 3.19 ERA over 191 appearances since 2016. He seems to have a couple of weeks every year where he can't really get it together. Recently, he had to be sent back down to the minor leagues, but he always seems to put it together by the time the Yankees reach the postseason. This winter, the Yankees signed left-handed pitcher Justin Wilson, a lefty who's not a lefty specialist. He can get both righties and lefties out because he hides the ball very well. He's another good spin rate guy. He's a solid middle reliever. Other Yankees you're bound to see this season are Jonathan Loaizaga, Johnny Lasagna, a 26-year-old 5'11 righty with a 98-mile-an-hour fastball who was very productive in 2020, going 3-0 with a 3.52 ERA. You'll also see recent free agent pickup Darren O'Day, a sidearm slinger who doesn't throw very hard but is incredibly effective. Let's not forget Luis Cessa, who came over to the Yankees with Chad Green and has shown a lot of improvement over the past few years. Also, don't be shocked to see Lucas Luetge emerge. He hasn't pitched much in the big leagues. In fact, he hasn't pitched since 2015, but he's looked amazing this spring and really gives me Graham Lloyd vibes. Other bullpen candidates include Adam Warren and Aroldis Chapman. Do the Yankees have enough pitching? As with their lineup, it's just going to come down to health. But the way things have looked this spring, I feel pretty good right now. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. It helps other Yankees fans find the channel.